love you group of ladies, and I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm honored to be considered sassy. And I think we have Tamara.
Yes, we have Tamara. Perfect
Hi.
timing. Wow, what a sassy way to enter at the perfect time.
In true Tamara style, here we go.
Hello. Happy Wednesday. How are
Happy
you?
Say hi, Julie. How are
Hi.
you?
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm sorry for being on the phone. I was trying to do it from my desktop, but the universe has other plans today. So
Yes, for sure.
That's okay. You had another grant entry.
So let's tell everybody why Tamara. So Tamara, you're our first international women EmpowHer guest.
Yes.
We kick it off with the best. Don't tell the other three guests. No, I'm just kidding. And it's a 4-part series, and it's all about the power of pause. Can you give us a little bit, give us your background? I think everybody would really be interested to know that you are a lady in a man's world.
Yes. So, let me back up a little bit. I have I'm a roofing contractor, and I'm a CEO of a roofing company in South Florida and in Tampa. So as you can imagine, it is definitely a man's, it's a man profession up till now, and I don't have a lot of examples for this. So what happened before sort of happened naturally. I was coming in and asking questions and trying to figure out, why do we do it this way? Why are we doing it that way? And people would give me answers like, oh, that's just the construction industry. That's the norm. That's just how it's done. And I would say, it doesn't seem morally right and sometimes illegal. And so pretty quickly on, I guess because it was such a stark way of the way it was being done already, just didn't align with the way I wanted to do business or wanted to connect with the homeowners. I pretty quickly realized that I just need to do it my own way and figure out the right way to do it for me. And, so what ended up happening is I was really implementing feminine leadership, and just because it was so opposite of what I had witnessed and what was really out there in the public already. So I think when I look backwards, there weren't feminine leadership words. There weren't conversations around that back then. It just sort of happened because it just was so starkly different than what felt right, and women tend to be about collaboration and systems and processes, and how do we align, what we've promised with what's the building code and what we're going to deliver. How do you do all of that? So I think that was probably the beginning of it. It wasn't on purpose. I wasn't trying to do some feminine thing. I just was sort of sticking with what what alignment felt like for me.
That's fantastic. And so, that says a lot about your who you are and your authenticity. Did you get a lot of pushback? Because typically, roofing, if I were to call a roofer and you came to my house, I'll tell the truth. I would be like, well, how could you? Because we are accustomed to seeing a man in that role. What pushback have you, kind of gone through, and what did you do about it?
I think that part of this, I'd love to take the credit for it, but I think part of this is the timing of me joining in, deciding, okay, this is what I want to do. I feel like everything I've ever done in the past has prepared me for this, all the skills that I did before, from everything from waitressing to bartending to filing and accounting, and all of the skills really brought me towards this, customer service, and then we had a roof put on our own home, and it was a pretty bad experience. And I thought at this point, there's definitely an opportunity to do things differently here. So I feel like part of it was just good timing, that I was sort of entering into the roofing world or maybe I saw it as opportunity, I'm not sure, but I feel like there was definitely a way things were done with homeowners, and there's a different way that needed to be done. And right now, the people that are joining into the construction industry are realizing that there's a different set of things that we need to pay attention to. It's not just a technical part. We want more as customers. We want a lot more. So I feel like before I was around, all there were men doing it because they were the technical part. And I think where my expertise comes in is having a lot of really smart people around me that know how to do their specialties. So my specialty isn't the technical part. Yes, I had to go pass a roofing test and do all of that kind of stuff, which was PS one of the hardest things I ever did. But the day-to-day stuff, that I don't rely on my own technical knowledge for the day-to-day stuff. I have a whole team of people that's their specialty. So my specialty is getting the right people on the bus, and also, like, let's pay attention to communication and aesthetics, and really looking at the customer's experience, like what gives them the experience that we're looking for. So I feel like it was part of like just the opportunity that I happened to show up when I did, and I'm seeing very clearly a stark before the way things are done, like the good old boy type of way, and a new way. So I feel like there's a lot of room for women in the construction industry because of that. I feel like that I definitely got a lot of pushback. I still get pushback. I still have people, when I'm standing next to my husband, they'll assume I'm doing the accounting, and they'll assume he runs the company. That's just, it's sort of funny now, but for a long time I was very defensive about it because I guess I was working so hard.
Yes. I love this courageous conversations because it sounds like, Tamara, you had to break a lot of glass ceilings, and you are an interrupter of the status quo in your industry.
Right.
And I love how you embrace your femininity. And today's topic is the power of pause. Would you share with us how the taking a pause had empowered you, and in which ways in the male-dominated industry where things are done in a different way, and here you are coming in with your women empowerment ways?
I would say the power of pause is one of the major contributing factors to the success with this. It's been the constant reminder that the more I pause, the better the results are. The more I slow down, the better the next steps are. The better I show up, the better I respond to things. Like I know one thing about me. When I'm stressed and I haven't paused and I haven't taken a break to fill up, my responses to people are, instead of it just being an issue that you're dealing with, it becomes like an emergency. And if I'm really stressed, it becomes like a panic, like a disaster, and it's the same issue. It's literally how I'm showing up. So, you've got me at a good time. I went on vacation last week, so I'm all set.
We planned it all.
So how do you,
but I think a big tip for that would be just really putting yourself first and literally scheduling yourself in your calendar, scheduling times, scheduling breaks, scheduling massages, scheduling process time, scheduling reading time, I have on Thursdays. I don't like when people schedule things for me on Thursdays for the main reason I want to go through my own little loops. I want to go down rabbit holes. I want to go down things without being interrupted. And I can't do that with appointments all day. Right. So I'm, a part of it's learning yourself, but I think really scheduling yourself first is the investment. That really is the investment in your next level. If I don't do that, then I tend to fall apart and melt down.
Well, we can't expect people to say, gee, you're so overwhelmed, I'm not going to ask you for this favor, right? We can't, truth be told, I have oftentimes think, don't you see I'm so busy? So how do you, having said that, how do you say no without, because I think as women specifically, we are very conscious of that. Oh, I don't want to say no. I don't want to disappoint. I don't want them to not like me. Most men have no issue with someone not liking them, disappointing. But oh no, we have to be, no, we can't say no. How do you say no and still feel like you're not disappointing, like they're still going to like you?
Yeah, this is such an issue for women.
Yes.
And the main reason is because women have a different set of rules than men. And I don't mean this as a sexist or a different whatever. If it is just the reality. You know, Taylor Swift talks about this a lot. You know, when women respond things the same way men, it tends to be aggressive instead of strategic.
Yes.
You know, she says when men do it, it's strategic. When women do it, it's calculated. When you know, she goes on about that. It's very true. We just have a different set of rules. So, you know, one of them is let's break down some of those rules a little at a time. And then the other thing is being around high level women. They all know the power of how important it is to say no and to take it graciously. We can only do so many things at once, and overfilling our schedule and overfilling our commitments, you end up not doing anything
This is
successfully.
so
Or
true. This is
yeah,
so true, Tamara. I want to invite everyone who is watching us and following us to make sure they ask their questions on the comments below, because what you're sharing is really revolutionary for everyone to really embrace the power of pause to be more effective and more impactful in the field that they are in. I want to ask you a question. I'm sure in your everyday ways of handling business, you probably have bajillions of things coming at you all at once. How has been taking that pause of stepping back, of handling those emergencies, had empowered you to make the proper move, proper decision? Would you share that experience?
I again would love to take the credit, but it's really a lot of it is yes, it's me, you know, insisting on it, but a lot of it is my team. I have an amazing team that I trust to handle things when I ask them to do their magic, and sometimes you know I get into the feeling, oh, it's something little I can do, it is little, but then I realize like this is their magic, this is what lights them up. There's certain things that only I can do, so why not let them do something they're really good at too. So I think you know, putting yourself on the calendar first and then really aligning the team with whatever support there is. I don't care if you're a one woman show, you can still use help. And
Always.
yes,
I think we all
and
need an
yes,
assistant.
we all need assistance.
So
And
Tamara, I know, you and I are both mentors this year. Oh, and Elena, you are as well, are you not?
Well, no, I'm not a mentor, but I
You're,
oversee our
you're,
mentor
you're
team.
yeah,
everyone's
she's
mentor.
heavily
That's right.
involved.
Yes,
Yes,
of course.
heavily
Well, I know
involved.
Elena, of course. Elena has her hands in everything. But Tamara, so what have you shared with your mentor? What is something that's been some invaluable advice that you've shared? Because these are young ladies
Yes.
that are in the middle, the thick of it. They're going to school, they're working, they're trying to better their lives. And we as mentors have had to kind of hopefully guide them on a path. What has been your experience? What have you shared with them?
I think that I get the same type of things over and over with, you know, I've mentored many girls over the years, and they all have the same issues. It's actually harder now than ever for women that age because they live in the social media world. So
Yeah.
I was mentoring before the social media world. They still have the same issues. They also have this now. So the thing I go over the most with them is time management. You can't do it all, and you're not supposed to know it all yet. And the value of like really asking questions and leaning. We have more women than ever that are involved with helping, and a lot of mentees really are benefiting from that. There's a lot of mentors that are willing to say, hey, listen, I did this 10 years ago, I did this 20 years ago, let me tell you what I learned so you can bypass it. And these girls are smart. They don't have to go through the life lessons we did. They listen. So I
Thank
feel
God.
like yeah, I feel like just being there for them and really going over time management and the constant reminder, you're not supposed to have this figured out yet at 30. Come on.
You don't have it
You're at the
figured out
beginning of
yet.
your life.
We don't have it figured out yet, and we're not 30. I'm
Exactly.
still
Exactly.
figuring it
Yeah,
out.
I'm 53 and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up.
And
I love it.
you touched upon this, Tamara, but please share with us, how would you like in the culture of the organization, seeing this power of pause being really implemented and made part of the organizational culture and the style of doing business?
Well, I like to do it in a fun way sometimes. I have these little buttons everywhere in throughout the office. There's one not in here. There throughout the office. There are 30 seconds dance button.
Yes, tell us
And
about those.
anytime at any
Fun.
point when you feel like you're just like in like a meeting or like you're just in the weeds with something, as soon as you have that awareness, well, like I don't feel like I'm on a a party boat right here, you can press a button and you just dance for 30 seconds, and then it just changes the energy of everything. That's a nice way of a pause. The other thing is I do conversations about this and talks with women and men too about the power of the 15 minutes. And there is a whole list of activities I've created for myself that are 15-minute pauses, and they're everything from yoga. They're everything from stretching. They're everything from puzzles. I have puzzles in the office and coloring and writing a love note, writing a gratitude list, like little things that are just like you can do from anywhere that are free and really energize me. So I at first I was like, I would go, okay, I've scheduled my 15-minute break now. What do I do with it? And then I realized I needed to come up with some activity. So I did like a fun little thing once, and I created a whole list of activities that I can do in a 15-minute period that I can then revert back to when I need a break. So those are like little ways during the day I find that work for me.
I mean,
How to pause.
You are an amazing corporate partner. And just to quickly share, we were sitting around and brainstorming a project, and suddenly you jumped and had us just dance around, and this just shifted the whole process and energized us, like you said, and put the whole energy on the next level so that we can go on with our project. That's amazing. And you shared so much, but would you summarize, what are the 3 takeaways would you say as a power of pause, the real 3 tips that you can share with our audience that are to go to?
I would say first looking at it as an investment. So just a reframe of mind. Instead of this is something I need to fit in my schedule, this is an investment in your next level. So we don't know who we are in our next level, and it makes us nervous sometimes. And just picturing that part of it, like the investment in the next best version of you, to me is a good one. And then scheduling it and protecting it. Protect your power of pause.
You know what? Simple is everything. Simplicity is everything. And that's really the truth. I mean, I think as women, one thing I can say about us kind of collectively is we like to overcomplicate and overthink everything. So if we could just be good with it, be good with saying no, be good with scheduling, be good with 15-minute dance parties. I work in radio. I love that. I think that's fantastic.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, make sure you ask Tamara more questions in the comment. And we want to also ask Tamara, how do people can get in touch with you and know about your roofing business and other business that you have in the Fort Lauderdale community? Because you're supporting so many of the nonprofit organizations and so involved. Please share, how do people get in touch with you?
Well, most of my social media handles are Tamara Chase, so they can always do that. TamaraChase.com usually has all the different businesses I'm involved with and stuff like that. So that's an easy one. I do a podcast now, and it's called the Pink Hard Hat Podcast. So that's a way they can find me as well on anywhere you listen to your podcast.
That's fantastic. I didn't know. I will definitely have to tune in.
Yeah.
Spell it out, Tamara, so we know.
It's the Pink Hard. It's the hard. What is it?
You'll have to
It's
put
a
it in
Pink
the
Hard
comments
Hat.
after we're done.
Yeah, it's the Pink Hard Hat Podcast.
Pink Hard Hat Podcast.
Yeah.
It is definitely a tongue twister. Okay. Pink Hard Hat Podcast. Love it. Well, this has been such a wonderful chat.
Yeah.
Yes. thank you, Tamara. And
you.
thank you, Julie, for being part
Thank
of
you
our
for your
first,
flexibility on getting on here.
yes,
Thank you. No,
first
you know what? We're
segment.
all learning, but this is such a great platform. You know, everyone's probably at lunch and they can just jump on and get a little bit of inspiration. That's what we're going to do all month long. So make sure to join us next Wednesday. And Tamara Chase from Chase Roofing.
Yes,
Thank
Tamara,
you so
are
much.
such a gift to us at SSL
Thank you,
and
guys.
to our community, and we really appreciate you for taking the time to be with us at our first podcast today. And ladies and gents, make sure you join us next week on Wednesday at 12:30 with our next guest, amazing guest. So stay tuned and find out what we have prepared for you next week.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a great day, guys.
Be
Great
sure
day
to
and a great
comment
month.
and find out more about Stilettos and lipstick at our website at sslwomen.org. And of course, follow Julie and those two girls Miami, because she's our girl and she is supporting us every and each way.
Yes, love you guys so much.
Women support women, and I really am a truly believer. Empowered women empower women, and they make this world a better place and things smooth and go around much better. So what is the last thought that you would like to share with us, Tamara, before we let you off the hooks today?
Go have a dance party.
Yes, I love that. I love
Best advice.
Tell them to share.
Yes, make sure whoever is watching us, make sure share and comment and tell the world about our organization and also about women who are such badass women entrepreneurs like Tamara Chase.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone, for being here, for joining us, and thank you for posting your questions and your comments. And if you have any questions for SSL, also post those questions for us. If you have any specific questions for me, make sure to send me either a direct message or post a comment here. I'll be happy to respond and let you know more what SSL does and how we empower women and impact women and children in our community. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Happy International Women's Month.
Yes, back at you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.